everybody. Welcome to the stream of Dev Play 100% Orange Juice Tag Team Edition. We'll be taking questions from both the Steam chat and Discord chat as well, so you can just come say hi. That's very welcome. Or if you have any questions, drop them off either on Discord or in the Steam chat, and we'll try to answer them as best as we can. Hopefully you can hear us now. I have unmuted everyone. Let's take the Sora. Let's rig the Sora a little bit. There we go. Sora is slowly shrinking. Nice. Alright, so let's get into our first game of tag team mode, and 4 players this time. We got our own Azure/Sora, and we got Draco and Tango from the QA stuff. Let's see who is gonna win. I have some background noise from someone's mic, by the way. Yep. Alright, let's go. I need to increase my game volume a little when we get to the actual game. Let's see. There we go. Alright, and while we're waiting for everyone to prepare, let's see if we got any viewers. Hello to Haru Sensi in the Steam chat as well. Hello Flying Forward, hello Michele, and hello 9HF and Grimmy. Nice, my favorite VTuber. Extremely realistic model, that's true. They're getting better every day. We have a bunch of questions. Yes, we have a bunch of questions on Discord already, so we'll be slowly going through those. Starting with a question by someone whose name I can't quite read, because it's in either Japanese or Chinese. But think it's possible for 100% OJ to collaborate with Blue Archive in some remote future. Well, I don't want to crush your hopes. We are definitely on the lookout for any fun collaborations if that chance arises, but we might be slightly under their radar. It's a possibility. I'm just putting that out there. But we do share a bunch of voice actors with Blue Archive, that's true. So if you ever had a collaboration, it would be fun to do something team around those characters, I guess. Hello P3 Sig. By the way, this video is also getting saved, so there will be a VOD later on YouTube. Alright, get a bit more volume, there we go. Taiman has joined the lobby as well. Very nice. We do have the mascot indeed. Wagon on Discord asks, can Poyo fly? So far we don't have evidence one way or another, so unless we get an event where the chance comes to test that for whatever reason, I guess time will tell.
いい数字出てください。頑張ります。
88 viewers, that's very nice. Getting lots of people in the chat, very cool. Didn't expect to see that many.
止まりなさいです。威嚇じゃないです。そうです。観念しなさい。
Release asking which channel can we ask questions. You can ask in the Steam chat, that's fine, but also we have a channel on Discord, developers stream, and you can ask there. I guess I'll also link our Discord for those who aren't there. I hope Steam moderation doesn't take it down. There we go. Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, I've been trying different time slots. See, so different people have a chance to join these streams live. This is also the last day. Well, technically, tag team is still running tomorrow, but it's basically the last chance for us to have the stream before the event ends.
こんな感じですか?
Go ahead, Krimi, go ahead.
どうでしょう、楽しいです。
Gaugao is asking someday there may be a collaboration with Madoka Magica. Hey, never say never, who knows? It's probably not the most likely thing, but...
こういう臨時収入が嬉しいぽ。もったいない。でも、蹴っていいですか?
And 98 is asking, is there a plan for a feature that lets some players spend both orange and not control torture of click vending machine to spend all the orange? Vending machine, so I guess that's if you have bought everything and are just spending orange on consumables. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good suggestion. What? Oh really, let's lower that one. That's probably better. Let me know how it sounds now. Alright. So, Jean is asking, will there be a new summer event next year? I can't promise it, but it's possible. At the moment I would say we get like 1 to 2 new events per year. We have a lot of events we need to rerun. We also need to work on retiring some of the older events because we have so many of them. We can't even rerun like nearly all of them in a year. Better indeed. If Bevel is so great, where's Boulder? I don't know, mysteries of life. Harusense is asking, are you guys open for character kit suggestions for future cars? It's not really something we are on the lookout for. In the first place, we generally get the kits from Orange Juice, and of course they may need some adjusting, but we get the core concept from them for most characters, unless it's like some bounty hunt unit, for example. But also getting like character kit ideas puts us in a slightly weird spot with implementation. Like in some games this stuff has happened where people submit character ideas, then the character gets implemented and people are like, hey, this was my idea. I should get like credit for it or get money for it or something like that. Those are things that happen, so it's just generally better to not even get that kind of suggestions, to keep things simple. And it's also not something we really need, like I said, we usually get the ideas to begin with. Hello YD and Felis. Alright, getting some nice draws.
サイコロ蹴りますね。いいですね。この物体を集めるしばらくは行動可能です。
And we had a question from not Kion that I know Rafa answered, but so if you have a quiet moment I'll just go over that question and answer because it's a very long answer, so I'll leave that for the last. You can also just read the answer on Discord about Android iOS support. Yeah. Indeed, indeed. He couldn't be here for the stream, so that's why he answered it in advance. So we have a question from Agreed that's a tough one. What is the biggest regret you've had in the history of this game? Choices, characters, events, etc. There's some other questions too, but let's start with that one. And when I saw that question, I was like, wow, this stuff, like anything that requires me to think on a time scale of like 10 years is very difficult. For me, my memory is so bad, but then I realized that the answer is probably pretty simple. Like, out of all the stuff you have done with the game, I would say probably the Unity port. Because that was such a big investment of time, money, manpower, energy, and I wouldn't say it was a complete waste, but it still ended basically in a failure. So I think that's pretty easily my answer. Do you have anything specific in addition to that, Sora? Oh yeah, that old FPS Discord. That was very unfortunate, but it wasn't really the kind of regret, it's just like an accident that can happen, basically. Right, Asroi agrees that it's on the same lines with the Unity port. Agreed also asked if the other Fluidpath games were ported, I mean like Olympus games were ported, like QB keys and stuff, what would the bonus character be? I guess for QB keys it might be like... Well, bonus characters are usually like an alt form of someone. But we already have the main character of QB keys, Cupida, in the game, so that makes it slightly trickier. And also we do have Kyosuke in the game as well, so maybe we would need to draw from one of the side characters, like Himeji or something like that, for example. I don't know. That's a tough one. Hello, Illumination. Deli says no. That is true. I guess it could have something in the parentheses, but I'm not sure what. I guess in theory, like Harusensi says, that's a shame. It'd be fun to have character concepts become a reality because it's something unachievable with mods. I guess in theory, in the future, it might become something you can do with mods for like some custom game mode that you can just like set your character stats and stuff. Probably, maybe some pre-made passives as well. I don't think you can have like totally freeform passives in a for custom characters. That might be a bit complicated. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Pretty Six says, thanks for the event. It's very fun. Glad to hear that. I'm very happy that we finally got the tag team out. It's something that we have been cooking for a very long time, like I commented in the indirect. The preparation for the tag team concept started like, I'm not even sure when, but it's been at least half a decade, probably longer. And the actual dev time for it was pretty long as well, because it's a fairly complicated game mode that changes the rules, basic rules of the game, with like character count and stuff like that. Oh, we have one more question from Agreed. What are the benefits of being a sweet guard? Is the pay good? Dental? The pension? That's an excellent question. In general, I would say that if you're a sweet guard, you might need good dental care. But because they are guards, maybe they don't. They definitely have like extra powers compared to normal people, so I guess that can be something fun. And they have access to a lot of sweets, so if you like sweets, which you probably do if you're a sweet guard, then that's probably an additional perk of the occupation, so to speak. Hi, Sophie Star, welcome, welcome. No. I think there's some new questions too, but I'm slowly going from the top. Ark was asking, is there a Fruta Factory employee Secret Santa? Unfortunately not. That's not something that's really ever come up. And also, what's Poyo's favorite dish, snack, etc.? That's a very good question. I'm trying to think if the event story mentioned something about her food preferences. I would have to check the script to make sure. I don't really want to invent like likes for a character. We will probably eventually get something like that when the character profiles for those characters are added. They usually have something about likes and dislikes, and it's often food related, so we might find out then. But it's safe to say that she likes the kind of normal food you can get in a family restaurant. She has probably the tastes of a normal high school girl. Borber in chat is saying you could answer more about alt characters for non-Fruta Factory OJ games, like QP shooting. Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but we would like to publish all the Orange Juice games. At the moment, we are missing Suguri and Activation Suguri, which belong to Rocking Android, and also QB Shooting, which we would also like to publish, but it's also held back for reasons I can't disclose. So unfortunately, at the moment we can't publish that either, but if the chance ever arises, we will happily do it. If we did do QB Shooting, then I wonder what the character for that would be, because we already have QB from QB Shooting as one of the main heroines of the game. So you can't really have that version of her, at least. Indeed. But maybe it would make more sense to get one of the characters who is like pretty different in the original QB Shooting. Like, for example, I'm trying to remember if the original design of Kiriko was in QB Shooting or Xmas Shooting. But the original design for her was pretty different. And of course you can think of Xmas Shooting as like a DLC for QB Shooting, like it's not a standalone game, it's a patch for it basically. So that might be one, or Blue Hair Natsumi for example. That's one of the characters who end up a bit different. P3C asks, why does Pete not like Mark? It's actually rather the opposite. We already have some detail about that in his and her in-game profiles, but Pete does pretty much like Mark, but he's pretty tsundere about it. Also, he's very competitive and doesn't like that Mark took the place of the youngest aviator in the guild. So there's like a rivalry, but also on some level he likes her, but isn't good at showing it, which you can see in some of the OJ events as well. QB Shooting, yeah, that would be a character we could add as an alt. Oh, Tango want to answer something about the flying red barrel lore question. If you have anything to add to that, go ahead. Alright. Something like that, pretty sick. Who said, I see, so it's a tsundere for Mark. It's close enough, it's close enough. Tango adds Pete's character is very complex, I feel that's why he is one of my favorites. Yeah, all the characters in the Flying Red Barrel series have like very complex settings and motivations and stuff like that. Not quite good enough. Ah, no. I failed at reading the card text and that wasn't damage, I just lost HP when I used the hyper. That was such a failure. All my carefully laid plans. The 10 minutes I spent building this plan. Oh, we have a question, surprise question from Borber in the game. Question from me, does Hono have like a super deep interest in food because he always writes stories about food in the family restaurant? That's a very out of the left field question, but I suppose it's possible. I can't really speak to his motivations, but I also feel it's might be a bit of a Japanese thing, like you can see a lot of talk about food in any Japanese fiction in general. So I think it's pretty common. It might just be that they appreciate food more. Maybe because there is a lot of good food in Japan, so that kind of makes sense.
いいでしょう。来なさい。どこから当てます。見えてます。これかな。もう一仕事頑張るよ。
Indeed. It's probably a lot more like a communal thing, going out to eat and so on, spending time together over food. Like family restaurants are more places to hang out and spend time with friends than just eat, for example. You get the drink buffet, which is like endless refills for drinks, and you can stay there for hours.
蹴っていいですか。部活に動くとやられる。何を脅しません。
Smoking Cascade asks, will the Steam store page get updated? Will the free rotation increase someday? What kind of update are you looking for the store page? I'm not entirely sure. As for the free rotation, I guess it's not impossible, but I also think it's a pretty good spot at the moment. Especially now that we also added the all units free event into the event rotation, so every once in a while you can use all the units. You could say the fridge is a man's romance. Let's see, let's go back to Discord. It's nice that we have a very active Steam chat as well, but let's not miss all the questions from Discord either. No! What my character got killed? Let's see. When will Club Sensei Tomomo appear? Hadi versus Tomomo. I'm always on board for that. Club Sensei. Yeah, who knows? Could be a thing in season 3, who knows? And 9HF asked on Discord, are we going to get a Xmas rerun next year, like this year? Next year, like this year. Sorry, I don't quite understand the question. There is going to be a... yeah, the Xmas event this year is going to be a rerun. And it's obviously going to go live pretty soon because it's almost Christmas. The current event ends tomorrow, so yeah, it's going to go live pretty much right after that. Probably not the same day, but before Xmas is the goal, of course. Oh, are we going to have like an extra rerun because we had one Xmas event in February? Probably not. We have a lot of other events to run as well. We have a question for Asura in Steam chat. What programming language is OJ written in? I was hoping for an extremely in-depth answer. No, that's too simple, don't just say C++. There has to be more to it. Something like that. With lava sparkles and stuff. Nice. Yes. One word answer. Crushed hopes. Con Kinnick is asking in Steam, when will the new DLC come out? It's planned to come out this year, so I probably don't need to be more specific because that's already a very short window. And Shoppy started asking, are the original OJ devs still involved in this game aside from writing the event stories? Absolutely. We get character designs from them, card concepts, character stats, like pretty much everything that matters. And when we do something original, we run it by them for feedback. They also check all the art that's made by third parties. So yeah, they're still very involved. Just, I would imagine like the most visible way to thing to players is just like the art, even though that's just one of the aspects of that they have been working on over the years. And it's something we have mostly taken off Hono's hands now, so that because it was giving him a lot of trouble, taking a lot of time. But he still makes like original character designs and stuff like that for us, art-wise. And Grimmy says, you're right about that food aspect of Japan. I've heard the same about drinking, that if you wanna meet friends, you go drinking. Because they tie to a lot of outings and it's a good way to meet other people or appreciate each other's company. Yeah, absolutely. And of course part of the equation is that people in Japan don't invite people to their houses a lot because houses are small and might be shared with the family, so you usually go out somewhere to hang out with friends. Harusen says C++ is the only one I know, so this is pretty cool actually. And Yute on Discord asks, any plans for updating Bounty Hunt, like quality of life and or balance stuff in the future? I would like to do a lot more with Bounty Hunt as well, like adding more monsters and stuff like that. It's always very fun. A lot has changed from before and it's definitely improved. Just want to ask if it's possible. Yeah, I mean, we just did a huge rework on Bounty Hunt, so we are not immediately aching to go back to it, but it has a lot of potential for more stuff later down the line. Why? Why? No way. Alright. Hello, Osaka. Just got to Grimbly on Discord, who I guess is same as Grimmy on Steam. It's Grimsy. I want to say thank you again for your efforts. I joined last summer and now, aside from mystery games and fighters, this is all I play. Thank you, very glad to hear that. I appreciate the amount of cleverness that goes into balance. Catch-22 Hyper on Mimeo/Tomato, the charm with skin choices. Veiny relatively having a ghost skin, creatively having a ghost skin since everyone runs, plus her pose. To modern features like rotation and events, I notice everything. It's the best game ever. Thank you so much. That's very heartening to hear. I was spamming your Twitter the other day with day over Kanata sharing a voice actor with an older Misaki Mei. I didn't see those tweets. Kanata's already becoming my favorite character in terms of voice actor, aesthetics, and I want to ask if you could give a hint on what her quirk might be. Chemicals, experimentation via chemicals. Regardless, thank you kindly for your time and again your efforts, all of you. We did just recently have the voice recording for her, and it was very fun. The voice actor is great, and I think we got some very fun lines. Is there anything else I can say about her at this time? I wouldn't necessarily say that she has a quirk as such, but she has a very funny, subtle personality. Where she's like very smart, and she knows it, but she's also kinda... I don't want to say smug about it, but can sometimes act a bit childish about it. And if something doesn't go her way, she can get a bit peeved about that. Osaka is asking, is the lobby limit to only QAs as devs at the moment? Yeah. We can keep things simple in the game while we are chatting with players. Therese is asking, when is Alessandro brand shampoo coming out? Out of all the brand foods we have ever considered, that has not been on the list so far. And Space Penguin is asking, just curious, is there a specific reason why you cannot select the same character twice in tag team mode? Well, it's simply a design decision. We feel it wouldn't be very in Team Forte event to play the same character twice. Like Chu Fernet, for example. Like, that's not the point of the mode, to just have like two of the same tanky character and swap when their HP goes down. We want there to be more variety and more dynamic shifts. Like, that's the whole concept. And if you think in terms of tag team, like, that comes from wrestling in the first place. You don't have the same character attacking with themselves. It's like the basic concept of tag team is that there's two separate characters. So it's just a design decision. And that brings us to the end of the current questions. Feel free to ask more. No, meanwhile I can focus a little on the game and see if... Wait, what's happening here? I'm the only one not about to win. Absolutely, absolutely. It hasn't been that long since the previous one, so probably not next year, but there definitely will be more. They are always very fun to do. The less fun part about those is to decide on the actual card concepts, because we have gotten literally thousands of card suggestions in the rounds where we ask community to submit ideas for the cards. So we'll first need to go through those thousands of ideas to decide on the cards themselves before we get to the art round. The art round is always very fun. I almost won. I had a pretty good feeling about that game. Good games. Yeah. This time I bet I win. Oh yeah, let's go with this fun team. And I see we have almost 100 viewers in chat, very cool. Always nice to see many people turning up to these streams. It's been a while since the last one. When was that again? I think it was for Bounty Hunt, but I'm not sure exactly when. Must have been a few months at least. I can also add that about the next DLC that's coming out, it was actually planned to come out a lot earlier, but because it is tied to the tag team event, which ended up as Extracurricular Crisis, then of course we couldn't release it before the tag team is out, and it turned out to be a pretty intensive project to implement properly. So of course we need to give it all the time it needs. And that's why the DLC characters are coming out a bit later than originally intended. But good things are always worth a wait. Oh yeah, we had a lot of like back-end changes at the same time, so there's been a lot of hot fixing and stuff taking their time as well. So apparently the previous one was August 6th, according to Bogger, so that's like 4 months ago, more than 4 months ago I think. Should never do a math on stream, but I think it's like that. So yeah, it was about time for a new one, and I want to do one for tag team, but almost forgot all about it before the event ends. Harusenshi is asking, is there a way to get a template of a card without having to create it from scratch in Photoshop? Template of a card. I think you can, all the frames and stuff are in the game files that are open to modding. So you should be able to get them from there. But I guess there's a bunch of elements that are drawn with code, like the stars, for example, star cost, stuff like that. I guess you mean like all of the elements. Osaka is asking, at the sudden component change from DirectX to the OpenGL, is there an open chance to get back something similar to what we have? The update is a complete mess for low-end computers, including me. It was definitely a bit rough when the update launched, like it had a bunch of issues causing low performance and stuff like that. But I believe they should be mostly fixed, and it should be running on pretty low-end computers without special problems. There are still a few fixes that are coming in future updates that have already been made but are waiting for the next update. But I'm not sure if those are gonna affect the performance. Does Sora have anything to add to it? Oh, Osaka says that my mic is still too low compared to the game. Huh, interesting. Okay, then let's lower the game audio a little. That hopefully does it. Took took it down another 20% or so. At my end it's not very loud, but maybe that just means that my mic is also not very loud for some reason. Let's bring my microphone a little closer, maybe that will help. Hopefully it's gonna be better now. Yeah, so I was more thinking about that performance, like, are we aware of any specific issues with the performance at the moment on the new build? But yeah, just like going back to the direct axis, I basically don't see it happening. By the way, let me move this Sora a bit. I just realized it's kind of blocking some of the game elements. There, that's better. Yeah, there might be still some pain points that we'll be fixing one by one as people report them. But like at our end, we don't really see any difference in performance anymore. Even though, I mean, unlike when the update actually launched and it had some performance issues, those got fixed. But yeah, we have been moving around from Windows dependency, so that's why making the DirectX build was getting increasingly difficult to maintain and was holding us back from making this and that change because they didn't work with DirectX. So it's not really plausible that we will go back to it.
なんだと。よし。頑張ろうね。夜の空を飛んでるみたい。プレイヤー3。えい。アルファチェック。プレイヤー4。 しなやか私の爪を甘く見るなよ
I guess I can also take the time to go over the question that Rafa answered on Discord. It's a bit of a longer one. Grim is asking really, but I'm not sure what that's referring to. Ouch. About my voice level. Well, hopefully it's fine. Yeah, maybe I already fixed it. So, we had the question from Notkion. What's the roadmap for Android/iOS support looking like, supposing it's planned? What are some of the challenges with that type of port? Like, some UI depends on hovering the cursor to reveal information which doesn't perfectly translate to a touchscreen interface. And we had a very long answer from Rafa, so I'll just read that. First of all, it will be challenging, but it's likely that the current graphical user interface would be totally scrapped and redone. That's something that needs to be dealt with as soon as the overall bugs and performance issues people are finding with GL are done with, and some extra refactoring is done around the code. It's a 10,000 piece puzzle. And secondly, the roadmap currently involves adding Epic Online Services as an alternative online to the game. Basically works seamless on Steam. We could in theory replace it tomorrow and no one would be able to tell it's not running on Steam Online anymore. But it will probably be an option. Why Epic Online Services? Because it works everywhere, so the burden of implementing online on other platforms basically disappears. This makes the issue of paradigm solved. Not that OJ running on a server paradigm is impossible, but it's not a possibility that will exist so soon. It's a 3000 piece puzzle. And third, even though I cannot compile the game to Android currently because of the unsolved Steam dependency, I can 100% say that it works. The current engine was built to run on everything level IGN April Fool's meme. Mainly thanks to the thousands that contributed over decades to the libraries we use, rewriting wasn't easy, but it was possible because of them. iOS 2, I'm sure it complies the same way I was sure about macOS, and half a dozen of platform-specific bits apart, it just compiled. Though I can't say specifics on X or Y because I don't have a Mac. As a comparison, I would say that rewriting the engine and the game to accompany it was a 120,000 piece puzzle. Although there is no date whatsoever, I can reassure that I'll make everything within my reach, so it happens. So that was the full answer from Rafa on that question. Osaka says that he's still hearing the game voice way more than me. Is that correct? Okay, at this point I'll just have to assume that Osaka is trolling me. Alright, great. Okay, so it's probably more about understanding me than hearing me. I can understand that. I think there was a follow-up as well. Let's see. Vakun asks a follow-up question: how many puzzle pieces would a new card be in comparison to the earlier answer? And Rafa answered that as well. Depends on the effect it has. That's what it means on the great scheme of things, interactions, etc. I would say between 10 to 250 pieces. If it was a puzzle programming-wise, a 25 times difference between minimum and maximum would be a huge range, but to explain on why would take a 50-page essay. But one day it may become a 3-piece puzzle when some details are simplified. At that point, the cool idea of having completely moddable cards with custom effects written properly in Lua could become a reality. I would say that's currently a pipe dream, but running the game on other OSs was a pipe dream yesterday, and it's a reality now, so maybe dreams do come true. We just need to keep believing. That's a very nice answer. Osaka asks, if the DX return is not happening, performance optimizations are on the way, and when? The big performance optimization was already done, so there's gonna be more fixes, etc. coming in the future patches. So those might address some issue that someone on a low-end hardware is having. It's hard to say in advance. And of course, there's always technical improvements coming. Bobber is going rapid because of the thesis level of research I spent on my wild friends. Nice. I also think that my game volume is currently lower than when I'm usually streaming games, and my microphone audio has been fine in those, and I'm using the same streaming setup, so I'm a bit confused if there is still a volume issue with my microphone, but I don't know. Grimmy says the tag team event's sick. I love giving red bean to G. Oh yeah, that's a pretty nice combo. Bean anorying all over the place.
相手をしてやろう。
持ってるもの全部渡して。
やめたまえ。我が
Oh no.
くらい。
No. I keep having the worst rolls. Bobber says Pizzasaur is my favorite skin.
ずっと一緒だ。愚かな、素晴らしい。運を見
Scholar takes 6 months to release because it adds some stupid interaction that affects the whole game again. And breaks the game every new update too. Yep, that's the kind of things that keeps happening. When someone gets some mechanic that's just a bit too unique.
しまった。可愛いだけだと思う。
Like when we did the previous community game community card pack, the that was the summon card's name. My Wild Prince, yeah. I could already tell the amount of regrets that would be coming as soon as that card was chosen to be implemented. It was such a nightmare. Like, actually breaking the game in early game mode. Oh yeah, rewind the game, that would be a fun one. We would first need to add like a replay functionality to the game, and then make the cards take advantage of that one. Somehow. Yeah, that sounds very painful.
運を味方に。素晴らしい。私の爪は鋭いぞ。もっとくれよ。
Bobber says I blame Flave for making my Wild Friends work exactly as it does in normal and co-op, causing the crazy quest of checking interactions with every co-op postcard. Yeah, that was... It had so many issues. And we also had to, I think, rephrase and change the interactions of a lot of the postcards. Because we now had other units on the field as well, and not just minions or bosses or players. So that changed a lot, even in terms of like terminology. And we had, for each boss card, we had to like evaluate what is the actual intention with this card. Should this be hitting the summons, for example, or should it not be hitting them? Should it only be hitting players? And then we had to make sure that the description is correct for that functionality. Because in some cases a boss card targeting a player, actually, I mean, a summon is actually nerfing that card, and in some cases it's buffing that card. So we had to keep that in mind. You have a love for the Roan Cafe one, the costume from Grimmy. The success sprite is so good. Glad to hear. While waiting for more questions, I wonder if there are any other interesting development topic I could be talking about. If anyone in chat has any ideas, let me know. Nah, that's not really a development topic, it's just asking for spoilers basically. Choose Dark Past, which gets memed about. So yeah, I'll refrain from commenting on that. People can make their own conclusions soon enough. Tango is asking, you see the feud in the background of this map, are they supposed to be badges or stickers or pins? Well, there's two layers. The backgrounds are like the stamps on a stamp card basically. Or the place to put a stamp. And I guess the flying food is like the actual family restaurant food that you can order. Someone's throwing cakes at you, yeah. That could also be the case. Maybe there's a food war happening on both sides of the screen. Although it looks a bit one-sided. Tango had an interesting interpretation that these were club badges because of the club theming of the story. I don't think at this point the club has any badges, but yeah, it's a cool theory. Oh yeah, has anyone seen the rare food yet? I certainly haven't been paying attention. Until now, I'm not sure if anyone actually knew about that. The secret has been revealed. But it is true, there is actually a rare food that can appear on this map. It's a bit like Popo Shooting Star on the... what was the map called? Starship, yeah. What? No way! Grimmy, I want to say I was there for the last Q&A and you get me about that one bounty hunt passive, the -2 hit point thing. Okay, go on. Ah, yeah, the home card or whatever it was called. I saw people sleeping on it and it's like, no, it works because it's psychological pressure. And Grimmy says, I was comboing it with Grillalaris. I bet that's a lot of damage on the board. This time I'm making sure. Yeah, there was a lot of discussion about that perk specifically. Like, some people are saying it's really bad, but I was definitely in the camp that it's a good perk. Because people will avoid the homes with that home defense, which is gonna slow down their gameplay. So even if the effect isn't that high, it has an indirect hampering effect on other players. You're like, whales, kiddo! You did. Oh, we have some questions on Discord as well. Big Bang Bell is asking, will the tag team return as a regular game mode like Bounty and Co-op? It's definitely possible, but we didn't want to rush it this time. Like, we pushed Bounty Hunt, like we had similar questions after the first Bounty Hunt event. So we were just like, okay, people want it. Clearly people really want it, let's just add it as a permanent mode, and we did that, but it was still a bit too half-baked, and in the end people didn't like playing it that much as it was. So we have kinda wisened up from that, and that's why we are not pushing this as a permanent mode right away. It might happen later. It's probably gonna get more improvements as it gets more events based around it as well, so maybe it eventually gets added as a permanent mode as well. Yeah, there's more discussion on the home defense. Grimmy says, right, like it's not outright value, but they have to take the long way around, and then with Krillalaris it makes it hard to play. And Swint Crane adds, I've seen home defense cost someone the game before. Grimmy says, yes, it's one of those things that really do matter. Skipping pages like that several times is gonna add up. Statistically it has to. Indeed. Ah. Right before my home. We have the same question in Steam chat that I just answered. Is the tag team mode gonna return as a regular game mode someday, like Co-op and Bounty? Probably the same person asking the mode. But yeah, I just answered that one. That it might happen eventually. But not right away, because we don't want to rush it. Whenever we had like a new game mode, even Chaos mode, people are always like, please make this permanent, we really like it. But if it was a permanent mode, maybe people wouldn't like it that much. It's something we want to evaluate more. Agreed, as could Sukuri and Hime perform the muscle docking from Kinnikuman? I know Kinnikuman, but I have never watched it, so I'm not familiar with the muscle docking. I hope that's not a questionable question, so I really can't say. Also, why are they called Big the Jonathan / Haruo? Just because it's more funny, I guess. Big the cat. Oh, nice. Bazook says, home defense is good because you lose your mind when it works. True, true. Nanako's extra bit. 8-bit Nanako. The 8-bit Nanako has finally been added. Akri keeps asking the hard-hitting questions. What's Popo up to now? What kind of place does Tomomo live in? Very difficult to load questions. You can see Popo chilling right there in the background, so just having a jolly good time. There's actually 2 of her back there. And that's also part of the answer, because there are many Popos. They are doing many things at once. She is a mass-manufactured creature. What kind of place does... What kind of place does Tomomo... Yeah. Yeah, true. What kind of place does Tomo live in? I think there's probably two answers to this question. Like the regular Tomo probably has like a very normal, cheap, small flat because he's just like an office worker. But in the game itself, she lives in Tomo's Abyss, which is a funny, gloomy little place that she has prepared to lift herself up. So she probably has like a throne room and stuff like that, even though it's not really pictured. I told you I'm gonna win this one. Let's see if I can get. I guess you can stay with me for the rest of the stream. Big Popo. Actually, I can install her on my shoulder. I was doing that back then. Let's see, it just takes a bit of work. Okay, there we go. She blocks my vision a little, but I think I can manage. Let's see, what combo to go for this time? So you can think about this as Popo is actually playing this game. I'm just hanging back here, taking the questions. Tango says that's why we need to add furniture in a future update. Indeed. Yes. Grim says that's actually one of the reasons I really like the balance team. There's things that would get glossed over because they aren't like raw strength, but are ultimately equal and in some situations stronger. That's one of the reasons I think Theo's cool, for example. The fact that she is more likely to have 5 HP when you confront her with Sherry, who's like to have taken a chip. Balance is definitely always a challenging thing in this game. So glad to hear that you're liking the balancing effort. Bobber says, just like in all games, the balance is not this elaborately thought out all the time. A lot of things just happen. That's true, but we still need to evaluate whether they are going to happen or not. But of course, a lot of stuff is just added because it's fun, not just for balance reasons. Yeah, Tango says it's very difficult to make things equal. Most of the time it's not ideal anyway. Yeah, I mean, if everything was just equal, it would be very boring. So that's not, things being equal is not really desired. Just being like reasonable is usually a better goal. Lunaria asks, sorry for asking one more question, but will we be having a new co-op boss? That's of course also totally possible. It's definitely something that I toy with, the idea. Adding more co-op bosses is always fun, like it's a lot of work, but it's also fun. So maybe one of the future events will be co-op related again. That's totally possible. Full what? Ah. Yeah, I think we had something like that in one of the April Fool's announcements once. Probably something like 64 players against a boss or whatever. Oh, that was a misclick, wrong card. Oh well. Most useful dash ever. Would be nice to realize at this point that I forgot to start the recording, but it's okay, the VOD will be up unless we get some surprising technical issues at the end. By the way, for those who don't know, this is the very first like plushie we got made as a concept. It's not by a company that makes like actual manufactured plushies. It was just like you send them a concept of art of a character and they make a custom plushie based on that. And because people really liked it, that's how we ended up making the actual plushie line. So Big Popo is behind it all. Yes. This time we have a question from Bobber to the chat. Like, do you guys have any tact combos who are very funny, even if they are not necessarily effective? Like, dumb theory I had is Saki plus Repa to trigger your own Big Bang Bell and act as a really bad X-Masher. Yeah, these plushies were definitely very different from the ones we actually got made. Hello Cyber, welcome. I have bought all the DLC and I'm on Patreon to support you guys. Great game, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Our Patreon Patreon attendance has gone down a bit, and of course we only have ourselves to blame for that, for not posting more content on there, so that's definitely something we are thinking about. So appreciate your support there as well. We have another question from Agreed. How much money do the 4 new characters keep in their wallets? Based on a very quick vibe check, I would say Poyo has like 800 yen. Chu has 2000 yen. Haruka has around 1000 yen. And Kanata has maybe 5000 yen. That is in terms of like a Japanese family restaurant. Of course, we don't know what currency they actually use, but putting it in those terms, that's my vibe check of the characters. None of them are exactly rich, but they still handle their money differently. And we have a question from Morigana on Steam. Thanks for keeping the game alive. My question, do you plan to add new cards in the near future? I just love deck building alone. Absolutely. I said earlier that we don't have a new community card pack planned for this coming year, but there may be more other kinds of cards coming. I'm just saying that it's been a while since the previous card pack DLC, so who knows? Good question. Bobber had plans in mind to play a funny combo like this for content, but it didn't happen, like Cowboy Shifu Robot plus Chicken with Go Kigurumi. Agreed with more hard-hitting lore questions. Where did Tomo get Kai from? Like, what's Kai's origin? Well, we don't technically know, but according to Tomomo, she created Kai as a... like, this is all explained in the Kai route of the base game. So, spoiler warning, I guess. But, basically, she specifically created Kai as a very normal guy who wouldn't stand out so that she can finally shine in the game. By being a more standout character. That's why all the other 3 main characters of Hardened Torin's Juice are like crazy powerful, while Kai is just a normal guy who lost his wallet. Well, character development can always happen. I used to theorize that Kei was American because of the Benjamin's lore. Maybe. Yeah, Japanese has a similar term for a 10,000 yen note, which is basically like $100. I don't remember what the guy's name was, but Shikishi maybe? No, it wasn't that. I don't remember. But there's a similar term that they used in Japanese for that. It basically means the same thing as Benjamin in American English. But it's using the Japanese currency. Now we have a deep cut question from Agreed. How much money roughly has 100 Doge made in profit? And that's actually very difficult to answer, even if I was at liberty to like directly answer that, because profit is very difficult to quantify. Like of course, a lot of the income from the game goes to original creators, orange juice, and so on. We have the staff and everything. Like what counts as profit is not as easy to answer as you might think. But it's made enough money that we have been able to keep developing for 10 years. Even though it's been pretty touch and go. And we don't really take the next year for granted ever. But as long as people keep supporting the game, I think we can keep making it happen. Oh no, and lastly will Filibuster pay back the $25 they owe me. Oh no, what do I owe you? Is that real? Big Back Bell asks, is Popo a mouse? She's actually a hamster. And we also have a question from Crimion's team. What kind of ears are Tomomo's? I feel like she would like them being at ears too much, and they're probably a pigs for the sake of irony. That is a very good question. Like the original sprites make it look like she has very long ears, but actually if you look at in more detail, considering all the artwork that's available of her, those aren't her ears. Like it's like an accessory. She actually has normal human ears. But it took surprisingly long for the community to take notice of that. I personally originally thought that she has like fox ears. Right. I also looked at those graphics when the question got brought up. And I think it might also be that the different color under the horns is just a shadow of the horns. Because it's just a different shade of red. So I can't say 100% sure based on that. But she does also have a tail, so I would lean toward those actually being horns. And although it has never been revealed, it's my personal headcanon that she's one of the magical devils. Who knows? Grimmy says, I won't be able to sleep now because of Tomomo's ears. Sorry to ruin your sleep. Big Bang Bell says, Sora always calls her, as in Popo, Mickey Mouse, so I thought she's a mouse. But yeah, that's just because of how she looks and being confused for another popular mascot character who shall not be named, even though I kinda just did.
ちょっとお願いする。
Grimmy has been deeply shocked by the Tomomo ear lore.
えい。よろしくお願いします。いける？いけます。うまくいきましたか？バッチリ。わあ、すっごいよ。楽しいわね。優雅に狙い目。ひらり。
Bober also has a comment on Lulu's hands. Are they gloves or scaly or what? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I think she might be wearing like gloves over her hands because they have like claws and she doesn't like to show that. But it could also be like they're like bestial claws instead of gloves. Maybe once we get the character profile for Lulu, that's actually set up yet. I don't think it's up, right? No, hang on, she has one. Did it say anything about it? In the OJ decks. I'm trying to remember. Right, she has her own OJ decks, like I remember the pin. I think it comments on her like... Oh, I don't want to put words in the OJX mods because that's like the official description. Let me see if I can look it up quick. But there's a lot of references to Lulu in the script, so it's not as easy as you would think. Right, it mentions her resembling a devil or a dragon, but nothing on the specific physical features. Flyingford asks, will we ever get to move on the board as a flying moss golem? No, as a giant moss golem. Yeah, I think it's been a long time in coming. We'll definitely get around to making like a playable version of the boss at some point, like all the other bosses have one. So, it's definitely something we should have. It's gonna happen eventually. It's one of those things that's been kind of held back by other design space issues that we keep discussing, like should we add voices for the boss characters and neutral characters? If we do, then maybe we should wait for that and so on, and that kind of thing sometimes ends up holding back other stuff. But good reminder, we should definitely get that made in one of the future updates. Let's get managing. Zorachant asks, wait, I missed the stream, can you start over? No worries, buddy, I'll do it just for you. So, with that we are gonna restart the stream. Just a sec. I have so many overlay things here. There we go, starting soon. And now we are live again. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Kurimi asks, oh, I remember another question. Have you guys considered updating the oldest sprites? I think the only one I'd tweak would be Yuki's, but actually like a lot of the older ones due to early 2000s anime charm they have. Yeah, that has been something that's been discussed. We even have some internal redrawn sprites. Like, it would be good to update the oldest sprites in the sense that they're like graphics quality is lower. I'm not talking about the designs, but like the actual graphics, like the colors are not as good as on the other. Like the line art and colors are not as high quality as on the new characters. So updating the visuals would be good, but we also don't want to like replace the original Hono designs for them. So it's been a bit of a difficult issue. We will basically only do it once we have like replacements that still look the same as before. Oh, did someone desync? Oh, Sora. Oh no. So, like I was saying, we would update the sprites if we can do it without compromising the design. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah, we have done that for like various promotional arts, because like the actual graphic quality of the older sprites isn't really usable on those, but those sprites also aren't like perfect. Like I probably wouldn't put them in the game as they are. Get gold. Interesting question from Suint Crane. So if Sifu Robot were to have voice lines, would it just be Sifu's lines? Probably not. Like, it's Sifu's robot. I don't think it would speak with his voice, so probably it would just be like a robotic voice. Something like that. Mates ask, is there a way to make CPUs use Big Magnum in normal games? They don't use it? Interesting. And Lunaria is also asking about making Moss Golem as a playable character, just like Manager, etc. So probably heard us discussing Moss Golem earlier, but yeah, we just discussed that. Like, see, it's probably gonna happen. Like, there's no reason it wouldn't happen. Just gotta get around to doing that. No. Mate says, it's been 20 speed up matches and I haven't seen anyone use Big Magnum. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, we have the CPU deck expert in chat. or in game. Oh yeah, we had a question I missed earlier, like, is there plans for new kind of panel? I forget who asked it, but I saw the question, but somehow missed it. I do actually have plans for like a specific kind of panel that's just a bit complicated to implement, but I would really want it in the game before making more maps. I guess I can, no harm in saying it, it would be like a teleport panel, that instead of warps you have like a fixed entrance and exit. I think it would make much more interesting like map design options available. And we also have a question from Harusensi. Since there's a card contest, will there ever be one for new tile types or even map layouts? I don't think there would be that much design space for like a contest on new tile types. Like, we may sometimes get like a good suggestion of on those, but I feel like there's kind of limited things you can do with panels, so it's not like you would get like 100 different panel ideas. So I don't think that's probably the best contest. As for map layouts, once we have the map editor live, then that's definitely something that's gonna happen. And we could get like new official maps added to the game via map contest. So that's definitely something that can happen in the future. May ask, like the one in Starship, but not random between two. Like, yeah, you can kinda use warps as a teleport, but unless you only have 2 warps on the whole map, it's not like fixed positions, so it's not really what I want. Like, I want teleport that's able to go from like one warp to the fixed next warp without any random factor. Teleport panel is actually just ice panels that hate Neo. Yeah, split maps are kind of tricky at the moment. Honestly, I think if we get like teleport panels added, we might even update some of the older split maps to have those added. But if you do have an actual teleport, then you can have more design space with actual split maps. That's probably not even as bad as some of the original split maps, because it has a lot of warp options, but like Lagoon Flight, for example. Like, if you don't have good RNG on some of the older maps, you are not even gonna get on a warp, so you have no chance to even get on the right side of the map.
スの導きのままに血で血を洗う戦いかったらごめんね。いや、行く空。心の準備が。せーので行くよ。はい。どっちが可愛いかバトルだよ。シャモン任せろ。おい。プレイヤー4。
私にも使えるの？はい、行くわ。狙いね。
私のファンかな？
Grim is sharing their experience. When I started out playing, I had this one horrid game as Krilla, where I had the field littered with 2 trillion traps, but every time I homed some, I would party time and there was like 6 of that thing in the game, and I ended up with a bajillion stars from the case out thing, but someone else won. I still have pictures of it and PTSD, but I think I got a trophy or something. Oh no. They are increasing. No wonder there's no hypers. Yeah, someone has been drawing them all. By the way, this is gonna be the last game of the stream. We are hitting the 2-hour mark soon, so if there's any remaining questions, go ahead and drop them soon. We'll still answer everything we have, but we are going to be wrapping up pretty soon once this game ends. Interesting. That might be useful. We got a screenshot from Creamy on Discord. Oh yeah, that's a lot of traps. I think it's even more than the current game. Over 900 stars. Oh boy. Speaking of cards, we actually have some very exciting stuff coming in the future with new cards. Like, we got some cool all new gameplay ideas, so that will be interesting. Just a small teaser. Might be a new category of cards, we'll see. Special place in Pures would be for people who bring card control cards in dark mode.
私を闇へと誘ってカードドロープレイヤー3。せーのでいくよ。はい。プレイヤー4。カードドロープレイヤー1。
はい、ちょっと強引に行きましょうか。失礼。
Oh yeah, I brought out the last chapter of the battle mode. I mean, live mode.
私を導く一手。
From the tact character.
さあ、
Advanced
デュエルの
tactics.
時間。
力が欲しいわ。
強もとのビシュが欲しい。ビシュっておいしい。
行きましょう。使ってみていいですか？
もちろん。
えい。よろしくお願いします。
いける？
いけます。リズムを合わせて。
I don't like these patching options. What? That was unexpected. Yeah, I'm not in that live mode right now, but I was when I tagged out. Because I used it earlier. Just one of the funny things that can happen in tag team. Because you keep the stock effects when you tag out, so there's a lot of interesting stuff that can happen. Sora complaining about the code abuse. So what we have learned is that to win in tag team, you just need to bring strong characters. It's that simple. We have a question from Lunaria in chat about QB Dangerous Hyper. Why Tony can draw pudding while in normal mode it can draw all cards with pudding name? It's because some of the cards are not in co-op, if I remember correctly. I think you're asking about the co-op version. So it was basically changed for a co-op because some of the pudding cards were not in it. Had some fun games. This was probably one of my best sessions because I won 2 games. That might be my personal record. It must have been the power of Big Popo. Thank you, Popo. Alright. Let's confirm there is no more questions before we wrap this up. I think that's everything. We had a nice, lively following, so that's great. Thank you everyone for joining. I will be posting this VOD on YouTube as soon as it finishes processing, so it should be up later today. DM, let me just confirm that.
Hi.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's already something that got covered. So yeah, thank you all for joining us for another Dev Play stream in tag team mode, and I hope to see you guys again later in upcoming stuff and also on Discord. And for now, have a nice weekend. See you guys later. Bye bye.